What's going on, guys? Before this video starts, I want to let you know that I have a 30% off your entire order coupon code in honor of Halloween weekend. The coupon code is Halloween. I'll have it in the description below. But anyways, guys, let's get into this video. This time I did it a little bit differently. I used to do it like this back in the old days, and I had some people ask me if I could do a whole beat and then show you guys the process after. And if you read the title of this video, obviously it's going to be the new Drake 21 Savage Sneakin song that they dropped. I really like that song, obviously, and I believe it was London on the track and Metro Boomin, but I know for sure there was London on that track, which was pretty cool, I guess, combo of producers slash artists. I didn't really think that Drake would get on a 21 Savage beat, but let's just get into the actual song. I'm gonna play it for you guys, and then I'm gonna go through every key thing that I did. So let's go. I kill people, I shoot people and shit, and they die. 21 gang. Yeah, gang. I'm Drake, yeah. I sing and I rap. I'm Jewish and my name's Aubrey, yeah. Anyways, guys, you get the point of it. I'm sure you like my little rap, but let me really break down everything so you guys can understand what went through this track. And also, all of the drums that I used in this video can be found on my website for free. The free drum kit to bundle, and I used all the ones in my newest kit. But let's break down everything. So when I heard the song Sneakin, you know, it just had that kind of distorted synthy kind of sound that I like. Not necessarily distorted, but it had this kind of synth sound that I liked, and it sounded like they'd used Electra X. So of course I opened up Electra X. It's one of my favorite plugins. I don't use just that, but for the sake of this video, that's what I used. And I went through and I found a pluck that I had made. You don't have to use this pluck. I'm sure you can find a pluck in any other VST, but this is the pluck that I used, and the sound that we got was this. And let me show you guys the notes. And I got this by listening to the melody that was on Sneakin and then adding my own little flair and twist to it. Right, so it was kind of melodic and trancey. And then next I wanted to add, they had like this weird little leadish kind of sound, and I wanted to have something like that, but I didn't want to copy it, so I added another thing like that. And honestly, I used all my own presets for this video. Like I said, you don't have to use any of these. It doesn't really matter which sound you use. But I just did it because I always use my own presets when I make beats. And I used a half speed, so let me show you what it sounded like originally. Oops. So I did the gross beat because that was like almost too fast for me, and it kind of threw off the beat. And it gave it somewhat of a dramatic kind of feel, and I think it just would mesh really well with a Drake 21 Savage kind of song. And next we have the bass. I used, of course, they had like a rolling kind of bass. It reminded me of the dance. It's the bass volume and dance volume 1 on Nexus, but my Nexus, I haven't installed Nexus yet on this, so I used Silent 1, and I went to one of my little basses that I've made, which is similar. And if you notice in that song, there's a lot of movement with the bass. That reminds me a lot of London on the track, and obviously he made that beat or made part of the beat. Like I said, I can't remember if it was him and Metro, but he had like these little, I don't want to say indents through the thing, but if you just listen to the song after this video or right now, you'll be able to tell what I mean. And I'm in no way comparing myself to London on the track at all, but I'm just doing the little things that he does. Like I said, I wasn't going to copy the bass. That's pretty boring, and there's not really anything to do. Anybody can just copy. It doesn't really take very much skill. If anything, it just takes a trained ear. So that's what we got for the bass, and what I did was just take out some of the high. So all I did was EQ. Because obviously that little high end was really interfering with the track. And the last sound that we have, and I'll go over the drums. I think the drums are probably the most important part as far as everything goes. Next week, I copied the same melody from the second pluck that we used. And this kind of gave it that swing that I was looking for. You know what I mean? Let me take this off and show you how it sounded like originally. And this was another ARP that I used from one of my kits. Right, so like I said, it gave me that really nice swing that I was looking for and that I thought would fit a track like that. So yeah, so anyways, if you do want these sounds, like I said, 30% off discount, no better time than right now, right? Type in Halloween for the coupon code. Alright, I'll stop advertising myself. Next, let's talk about drums. Let me put this inside the piano roll just so we can get a better look at it. I'm going to drag them out so they're better to see. So the kick that I used was the Boy Wonder kit, or kick from my kit. Let me show you. Like I said, it's free. I'm not going to charge you guys for sounds I haven't created. That was the original kick, and then after messing with it, this is what I got. And the way that I actually came up with this kick was pretty weird. I never really EQ like this, but the kick had a little bit too much mid to low mids, and I wanted to get rid of that. I wanted more of a thuddy kind of kick with the 808 that I used. And let me show you like that with the 808, right? Right, so I just thought it worked really well together. And let me show you the 808 as well before I added any plugins. I didn't really do too much to it. For the most part, I just took out some of the low end because it was really, really deep. This was the Wheezy 808 from the bass section. And then we added a stereo enhancer, and we separated the stereo, which kind of just threw the 808 around the track versus being kind of in one spot. I know the bass has its own basically area of frequencies, but at the same time you can still kind of widen it out and give it a little bit more space, which was what I was going for. And then I threw on the Sound Toys Decapitator, which I didn't add too much because it was already pretty deep and it's made it a little too distorted. So let me show you without that. So it just made it like a lot harder, I guess. Whoops. And now let's look at the swing of the hi-hats. This was a pretty big thing. I didn't do like a crazy amount of swing on mine, but I definitely added some rhythm. And also what I did for this video is that I layered my hi-hats kind of with my kick, meaning that like when my kick would hit, I would throw hi-hats like a pattern down, so that way it would be kind of bouncy. Let me show you what I mean. I'll mute all this stuff right here. Right, so like usually when the kick is hitting, I have the pattern hitting like a triplet or a six or something like that, or before or after, right? You know, it just gives it more bounce, which is what we're looking for. So we add that with this, right? Don't mind me, I'm just doing this. Like I said, I switched up the way that I did it this time just because I wanted to show you guys like a completed track that I had done, showing you, you know, the Drake track or whatever. I know that it can be a little vague at times, and some of you might be wondering how I got whichever sound, but for the most part, like I said, I listened to the Sneakin track and I just checked out how I listened really carefully to how they were doing the drums, and then I was listening to the melodies, which, like I said, I kind of did my own thing a little bit with the melodies because I didn't want to just copy it. It's pretty boring. But a lot of people were asking me to make this video. Actually, I don't think I've gotten this many requests in a while for one specific thing. So, of course, I had to make it happen. Today is Thursday, so I'm either going to drop it today or tomorrow. But either way, like I said, 30% off your entire order on my website. Just type in Halloween for the coupon code. Beats as well. And let's see, for the most part, hopefully you guys have learned something from this. Like I said, just a newer way of doing things, a newer old way of doing things. I probably will go back to my other way just because I enjoy that more, because I feel like I can show you guys more and you can see the whole process. But never hurts to try new things. So you guys can let me know how you felt about me doing it this way. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Have a great day, guys. Have a great Halloween. I'm going to be partying at some Halloween party somewhere, so, you know. Anyways, guys, God bless. Thank you so much.